Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. In today's video, we're going to be talking about gun control with the recent events in Florida and also the statement that Trump recently made about an executive order to ban bump stocks. Hopefully, with this video, I can get across my honest beliefs, facts, and then also some proposals that might actually help with the problem that we have in the country as of this point in time. Let's pick apart the statement that President Trump just recently made, basically an executive order to ban or make illegal the possession of bump stocks or rate increasing devices. Unfortunately, our very first time we're hearing about guns from the president as far as legislation, and it's legislation to take more of our rights away. This is not really totally a surprise to many of us. One, a bump stock is an item, but to actually bump fire a rifle, it's simply just an action. I can use my finger to bump fire a rifle. Pretty much any semi-automatic can be bump fired with your finger. And no, you don't have to fire the rifle from your hip. You actually can fire a rifle from your shoulder, and being able to bump fire the rifle with just simply a little bit less pressure put onto the rifle and a little bit less pressure on your finger. The biggest issue I have with the statement is other rate increasing devices. What is a rate increasing device, guys? This is the question that I've been asking in previous videos. What does that mean? Does it mean a lighter trigger pull? Does it mean the ability for me to shoot the rifle faster? I have an okay trigger finger. I can dump a magazine pretty fast. Is my trigger finger a rate increasing device? I mean, what are the answers here? Whether it be a pressure cooker, whether it be fertilizer, whether it be a vehicle, you can do the same amount of damage. The tool doesn't matter. I've said it before. I think bump stocks are kind of stupid. I think bump firing your rifle is kind of stupid. Really doesn't do much other than you're trying to impress your friends and you're just really burning through ammo at the range. So no, I don't really do it ever, and no, I really would never even buy a bump stock. But it all starts somewhere, guys. With the ban of bump stocks, what's to stop them from saying, well, you know, I'm also going to sign an executive order to ban all semi-automatic rifles because they could be bump fired, to ban all semi-automatic shotguns, to ban all semi-automatic handguns. And you know what? We're also going to ban revolvers because it's too easy to pull that trigger multiple times. And finally, you know what? We're also going to come for your muzzle loaders because why do you even have guns anyways? It all starts slow, guys. You guys know I'm from New York. In New York, there's not much rights that you have left. In fact, they're still taking your rights away. Why? Because way back when they started creating these laws and you had, people out there who just maybe they didn't really care about a magazine restriction because they didn't use it. And now it's affecting them to even get a pistol permit to defend their lives with. There's many people out there who won't think it will affect them as a gun owner until it's too late, until there's no more voices to be heard, until the fight is lost. And that's the problem that I see. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't a constant fight. I wish it wasn't a constant battle. I hate waking up and seeing the news and just thinking in my head, here we go again. Here's another time. Here's another situation where we're going about it the wrong way, where no matter what the media says, it seems to always be the wrong thing. I could not even imagine the fact of losing a loved one in that way. It's a horrible situation. And I couldn't even imagine the pain that these people are feeling and these other students are feeling. But I can tell you one thing, marching around the cities and demanding for rights to be taken away from law-abiding citizens and a rifle to be taken away from law-abiding citizens is not going to help the problem. Let's talk about what an assault rifle is. Google the definition, what is an assault rifle? The first thing you will see, a fully automatic rifle. A fully automatic rifle was not used in the shooting. So why are we talking about it in the media? Why are 17-year-old kids marching down the streets saying we need a ban on assault weapons? In order to actually get a fully automatic rifle, it has to be made before 1986. You have to pay a $200 tax stamp. You have to get your fingerprints taken. You have to get a photo ID taken. You got to wait 8 to 9 months. And because it has to be made before 1986, guess what? The cheapest AR-15 you're going to buy with a full auto lower is going to be around $20,000. They don't want to tell you that their main goal is to really take all semi-automatics because they know they're not going to win the battle that way. To us, it was always just a rifle. It's simply a rifle. It's simply a shotgun. It's simply a handgun or revolver. It's simply a machine gun, if it is a machine gun. If it is fully automatic, it's a submachine gun. These are all actual terms, but the media doesn't use these terms because they know if they said he used a machine gun, everyone would be like, no, he didn't. They use things like military characteristics. What are military characteristics? Is it a bolt-action Springfield 1903 rifle that's in 30-06? That definitely had military characteristics when it was in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea. Is it an M1A or an M14? That has a wood stock. It doesn't have a pistol grip, but I guess you could consider it having military characteristics. The reality of it is, guys, all those anti-gunners out there don't know what these rifles are. They have no idea. All they see is an AR-15, not even an AR-15. They see an assault rifle that the media posts a picture of, but they don't even know how it functions. One of the news articles that I saw in the Miami Herald was the firearm that was used was designed to kill multiple enemy combatants at one time. I would say that any firearm ever designed, used by any military ever, whether that be a small handgun or an artillery piece, is designed to kill multiple combatants at one time. Again, it's this sleight of hand that we see that's coming from an uneducated standpoint. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I absolutely love seeing younger kids getting into politics. But there's a reason you don't see kids who are barely old enough to drive a vehicle make decisions on policies that affect hundreds of millions of Americans. Most of these kids are not even old enough to purchase a firearm. The reason that I bring up that point is because they've never seen a 4473 form. If they had seen a 4473 form, which you guys are seeing on the screen right now, you would see all of the things that prevent you from getting a firearm, that will prevent you from passing a background check. Most of this is not known by these kids because they've never seen it. One of the main things that really bugs me about this topic is the people who think they're going to change something by just complaining on social media. That's not going to change anything, guys. You can complain to your friends. You can yell and scream over the phone to one another about these topics. That's not going to change anything. None of that is going to matter. Here are some things that actually will make a difference that you can personally do right now. Join the Gun Owners of America. I know a lot of you guys are indifferent about the NRA. Personally, with me, I have absolutely no support for the NRA because I think along with President Trump, who we have to thank for this new executive order plan, we have the NRA to thank, because they were one of the main proponents to ban bump stocks in order to get us to give more money to them to then fight the bump stock ban. This makes absolutely no sense to me, and that's why I withdrew my support for the NRA. Now, I will say that the only way to fight the NRA and changing what we want them to do is to pay more money and unfortunately be able to vote. Personally, with me, I don't want to give them any money at this point in time, so I'm not. As of tonight, right before I filmed this video, I became a member of Gun Owners of America. I know it's really tough to trust any of these people right now in office. We need a lobbying group that is going to absolutely stand for our rights. And right now, I think that's going to be Gun Owners of America. Not only that, you can go to the Firearms Policy Coalition. These guys are great because they're going to give you all these laws that we either want to get passed or we want to try to stop. And not only that, you can click the Take Action tab, which I would recommend all of you guys do on their section on bump stocks. It will have a pre-written email that all you have to do is send it. It just says send. You send it. And that's your voice. That's your word. That's how this country works. We vote. We voice our opinion. We let the government know when we don't like what they're doing. Furthermore, the last thing that I would recommend you guys do immediately after this video is write an email to the president. It's super easy to do, guys. I will put the link down in the description. All you have to do is click it, put your name, all your information, and you just have to write what you feel is right. That's what I tried to do. It's not a time to swear and point fingers. Try to actually put a comment that might change things. Why didn't you hear more about the Texas church shooting? Why does the media not talk about the fact that a civilian, a law-abiding gun owner, grabbed his AR-15 and he stopped this guy? I don't know what the guy's plans were or where he was going after the fact, but the reality of it is he succeeded with the first target and he wasn't allowed to go on to a second. Not because law enforcement stopped him, but a law-abiding gun owner with an AR-15 did. We heard about this for a couple of seconds, then it was quickly washed aside. Why wasn't there children out crying in the streets, "We need more people like this hero who saved the day"? It was still an unfortunate event, but I believe it was stopped, not able to go any further. This is why the media is absolutely doing the general public as a whole a horrible, horrible, horrible deal. So some things right now that the country can do to actually prevent these things from happening. First thing, we need to look at why the FBI did so poorly with the tip they received about this mass murderer. We need to look at why they missed it, what the deal was, and how we can change that and make sure they never miss it again. Whether that be firing certain people, getting them the heck out of there, or just looking at how they received the protocols. I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of the FBI. But I guarantee you that if we looked into that, we could see a lot of holes where many tips just fall right through. And finally, we need to end gun-free zones. This makes absolutely no sense to me. You have kids out there that are saying they feel like sitting ducks, but yet the answer that they say is to not feel like sitting ducks, we need to take those rifles away from law-abiding citizens. Do they not understand that these criminals will get these items, they will get these tools no matter what? And if they can't get a gun, they're going to do it with something else. Because again, their mental health is not sane. It's not there. They're obviously not thinking like a general human being is thinking. And that's a problem. Because at the end of the day, evil will do what evil will do, and it will find a way. By ending gun-free zones and allowing teachers and security guards to actually carry concealed weapons on campuses and on school grounds would immediately be a huge deterrent to somebody trying to do those kids harm. But yet our kids are left to be sitting ducks, and all we want to do is put up a sign or try to ban an object that absolutely wouldn't prevent it from happening. What's to stop another psychopath from getting a vehicle and doing more harm to kids outside waiting for a bus? There's nothing to stop that other than an armed civilian ready to confront that person with force. These people don't go to places where they know they will be met with force. In fact, half the time when they are met with force, they end up taking their own life or stopping what they're doing. Because again, they're not mentally sane and they don't know how to react to that. They want easy targets. This murderer pulled the fire alarm to get kids to come out in. He wanted it to be an easy target. If instead of pulling the firearm, he was met with bullets coming his way, I think that would have had to change his plan a little bit. If not, at least delay him more till police got there and police arrived. And don't forget, police are coming with guns to stop a bad guy with guns. If anything, open up a certification that teachers can go through similar to the CPR certification or the certification that they must go through for fire drills, for active shooter situations, except add on a secondary active shooter response situation where you actually respond to it with force, with firearms. Why is that not a good idea? You could look at multiple heroes in this event who unfortunately took bullets, and unfortunately some of them lost their lives protecting their students, protecting their loved ones. Some of those were kids, some of those were security guards and football coaches. Now you tell me that they wouldn't have had a better chance if they had a firearm that they could return fire. That instead of just acting as a shield, they could act as an offensive ability to stop the threat with force. And that is absolutely what I truly believe will stop these things from happening. They will stop all these situations from being easy targets. You'll hear things like there have been 18 school shootings since the beginning of the year. Go to these gun control websites and look at the 18 shootings. Half of those shootings, if not more, nobody got injured. They were negligent discharges. Some of them were even on criminal justice campuses where there's obviously firearms and there's people learning firearms. I think it's still unfortunate that there's negligent discharges, but does it really make much sense in saying that that was a school shooting if nobody got injured? It's ridiculous. It's a sleight of hand, and the media uses it to completely change your mind and brainwash you to following their agenda. All I'm asking here, guys, is you take it upon yourself. You take the responsibility to look up this information before you make your decision. You look up this information before you vote on a topic. It makes me very upset that people somehow think that I'm okay with this, and that by me saying that I don't want you to ban a certain rifle, that I want these horrible events to happen. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. I am absolutely 100% just trying to protect our children, and that is not by banning an inanimate object. That's going to wrap this video up, guys. And be sure to click those links down in the description. It'll take you to all those things that I recommended, and it'll also take you to my Facebook and Instagram account. On the Instagram account, I still do daily posts, I do live streams, and it's a really great way for you to communicate with me on a whole nother level. We are absolutely in a fight for our rights, as we speak. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.